And we are live. Word up, Joe. How are you?
Ta-da! Thank God. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. Praise
What's
the
that?
Lord.
Tea, coffee, whiskey?
Water. Too late.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Very suspicious. We're drinking a paper cup.
And
it's always better to be more transparent.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone, let us know where you are. Come in. Chat. Hi. Nesomasi won the first comment competition prize. Not that there's a prize, but well done. Where are you, everybody? Hi, Devon Malga. Howdy, boss. Telmond. Just let us know where you are. That's the first thing we want to know. L'chaim, hi, Yecheved. Hi, Howard. Hi,
where's
Telmond? Have no idea. Go on, Google it a second. Antwerp. Hi, Gitty. London. Manchester. Telstone. Baltimore. Mississauga. Oh, Dad's online. Hi, Dad. And Yecheved, Baltimore. Israel. Hi, Lance. Welcome. Good, everybody. 60 odd people. That's great. Oh, hi, Paul from Knaphill. Nice to see you here. Howard from New Forest. Again, Robert from New York State. Hello. Westchester. Hi, Helen, New York. Another Antwerpian. Calgary. Hi, Valerie. Great. As usual, got the whole world here. How's the signal, everybody? Because it looked on my computer is going a bit haywire. Can everyone hear me okay? Dina had to leave early last week. Joe, you're very blurry.
Joe, you're very
blurry. That was to do with the whiskey.
Better.
That was to do with the whiskey that she ate, that she drank earlier. I used to joke about that at weddings when somebody had seen me drinking like a schnapps. A little whiskey or something, I'd show them my camera that on my lens it says image stabilizer, and I say it's okay, don't worry about it, it's under control. Shmuel is okay and hearing okay. Joe not too clear. Okay, that's not such a big deal. Sorry, Joe, no offense. Okay, hi everybody, welcome. Lovely to see that again. Everyone's joining us. I have to tell you though that a few people recommended this, and I think it's a good idea. We're going to cut this webinar down to once a month. Okay, it's going to be monthly. We've got some other stuff planned, but that's basically what's going to be. So the next webinar, because of the Jewish festival of Passover or Pesach, to you guys who know what we're talking about, it's going to be on the 7th. On the 11th of April. Don't worry, you're going to get emails and stuff like that, but it's going to be in a month from now, so we're going to wish you all a Merry Pesach in the meantime. Otherwise, let's jump in. 1 second, let me just share my screen.
How long are you doing critiquing for?
So we're going to critique until 12:30, something like that. But first, I just want to show you a couple of transformations from students. We've got 3 students. These are just literally random, like each week, people who pop up, who upload their pictures. And I think Hindi Green's transformation is, for me, one of the most breathtaking because, Joe, look at this. This transformation happened in 4 weeks, okay? Literally in 4 classes. So she started like this. She's using a Rebel T8i, which is a very basic camera, but still good, but very basic entry camera. And she was playing around already in Lightroom, not too successfully, but that's not what it's about. It's about trying and playing around. And this is her at the beginning after, I think, week 2. And then I think this was week 3, already a marked improvement. And then by week 4, I think that was also week 3. And that was week 3. And now this was week 4. Look at what she came to in 4 weeks. This is amazing. Unbelievable. Absolutely amazing. Hindi.
Well done.
Well done, Hindi. And then I'm going to look at Shifi first. This is also another This is in 5 weeks. She's still in the middle of the course, but just to show you, look at what she began with. This was awful. I'm sorry, no offense, Shiffy, but this was awful. I mean, it was the beginning, but also, you know, and look within, this is week 2, already an improvement from week 1. And I think this was week 3, already an improvement from week 2. And now she's really getting the hang of it. Beautiful. And she's using a very basic camera.
Oh, wow.
Notice she's using a 50D, which is the camera we recommend for the people who are like trying to get there, you know, they're not sure if they want to jump in all the way. And then this was the last homework. Now she jumped up to a 5D Mark IV. So nice one. That's the camera I got. It's a great camera. And look at these pictures within 5 weeks. Absolutely fantabulous. Amazing, Shiffy. Well done. Again, I take my hat off to you. And now this is my favorite transformation of the, this is Moriel, who is now in our AMP course. So this is a slightly longer, this is a longer period of time, but look at this transformation. For this was the first class. So you can already see she had a good idea of cropping in, and she had a decent idea of tensions and balance and stuff like that. You know, things like these kinds of rookie mistakes that completely destroys a picture. I feel like I'm good friends with this little boy. There's so many pictures of him. And this is at the beginning. And now this is, I think, class 3, something like that, maybe class 4. Now this is class 4 or 5, something like that. And you can see she's really, really just completely understood it. Really perfect with the tensions, beautiful backgrounds, perfect light. Posing's a little bit awkward, not perfect. Yeah, now the posing's getting better, great framing, lovely composition, really intelligent composition here. Got energy moving in this way and then slight energy moving in this way, and he's perfectly placed. We've got a beautiful, perfect balance. Okay, now she's getting really, really good. Okay, this is by the end of the course. And now look at this is from the first homework she just uploaded for the AMP. Look at this.
Wow.
Isn't this out of control? So not only is she just completely nailed it, but she's also developed her own style, which usually doesn't come this quickly. A style is something that people talk to me a lot about, like how and when will I have my own style, etc. And I keep saying to people, it's something that develops naturally. You can't you can't push your style. What style really is the way you see the world. Now, the problem at the beginning is that you see the world differently to everybody else, but you don't understand the camera well enough to be able to put that vision forward. So style happens when you understand the camera well enough that your vision can actually start expressing itself. So this is where Moriel has come to. It's just absolutely beautiful, absolutely fantastic, totally blown away. Isn't that gorgeous, Joe?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Wow. Moriel,
really gorgeous.
Everybody for our transformations this week, Hindi, Shiffy, and Moriel. Well done. Okay, let's jump in. Where are we? Here we go. Pictures. Okay, we'll try and do it as quick as we can, as usual. I think we'll run over a little bit. We've got up to like 35 minutes. Okay, Henny, feet cuff at the bottom. Not a good idea. A little bit more room. This is something that everybody does. I don't know why. It's literally without exception. People cropping in too much at the bottom and leaving too much space at the top. Also, this massive white area here is not such a good idea, but otherwise quite nice. It's a little bit dark. It needs to be brightened up. I think I'll probably crop in a little bit. Okay, but overall nice. Okay, that's a good solid picture, Julia. Well done. This is beautifully composed. Strong triangle here. Energy moving this way with just enough space over here. Background is nothing special, but at the same time, it's not distracting in any way. It's nice and sharp. Stats are okay. I'm not sure if you could go to a wider aperture, but that would have made a bit of a difference. But well done. Nice light on his face. Great separation between subject and background. Good stuff. Okay, Ruchi. Light on their face is not very nice at all. These kinds of pictures, like, they're cute, but they're a bit like jarring. I think people, just personally, maybe people could put their thoughts to this. It's good to hear everybody's. What do you think about pictures like this? Are these the kind of pictures that you feel as a parent you would want to purchase, or that you would be endeared to, or a bit like, you know, okay, it's cute, kitschy, keep moving. Please let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Joe, what do you think?
Do you know what? I'm never a fan when I've got to go like that to see a photo, if you know what I mean, to work it out. I kind of like to just look straight on and be able to see it straight away.
Good once in a blue. Interesting, but not for me.
Nice concept.
Oh, Devor wants to know Muriel's location. Devor, you can call. I think you know her, no? Black background. It's good for the gallery. Prefer to have face in the same direction. Okay, so I think in overall, it sounds like people are saying what I say. A very good thing that you just mentioned, Joe, a big issue that people have in newborn photography is they put the head of the baby all the way. If you go and do a Google for newborn photography and look at good newborn photography, you'll see that there's no pictures with the head all the way to the side. It's always propped up at least a little bit because, like you said, Joe, it's awkward. It's awkward viewings. It's just an interesting thing. Okay, but otherwise, other than that, the light is very, the light really needs to be worked out. That's not good light. That's underlit. Okay. Okay, Joe, do you notice somebody in this picture?
You straight away.
Did you
take it?
No. This is one of Dina's friends who's taken our course. Shayna, who's also done it well.
If you saw them, mate.
So Dina, this is Dina, my Dina. Dina needs to be moved out a little bit. She's just overlapping with this girl here. That subtracts a little bit. And I think I would probably just crop in. I don't think we've got much to gain from having that space over there. But then I realized later that all these coloured masks go with their top. So well done. It's a really nice.
You didn't watch straight away.
What, Joe?
That's the thing I noticed.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
It's the first thing I noticed. That their mask. Yeah, interesting.
I think Mendina. Yeah. So as a boy, you don't notice stuff like that. But anyway, otherwise, nicely done. Nice composition. Very interesting. That is a little bit distracting. It looks like you've done a little bit of Photoshop there. But be careful with things like that in the background. But otherwise, well done. Okay, now I left this in. Usually I'll delete this kind of picture. But I just wanted to show this is really a snap. This is not what I call a photograph. Okay. The reason why it's a snap is so much junk in the background. It's just a picture that, I mean, look, the boys look cute and it's nice, but it's one of those, it's a snap as in no real thought went into it. It was just a snap. That's why it's called a snap. So that's the difference, really. I thought that demonstrated the difference between photography and just snapping pictures. So, for example, this is a picture. You can see thoughts gone into it, etc. Whereas this was just like a click, a spur of a moment. Sometimes they come out looking fantastic, but a lot to do with the junk in the background and stuff that just keeps it in the world of a snap. Okay, we are very underexposed here. The stats here, these stats are not very good. Okay, F8 is a big mistake. That should be, it looks like you could be at 1.8. Those stats are really wacky. It's a very cute picture though, but it needs also a little bit more light as well. What are you shooting in? You are in manual. Okay, but it's quite cute.
Is this
okay? Yeah, so there's a lot of poo-in pictures here. This picture for me is a bit of an issue that you've used so much. You've used so much clarity. You've reduced the clarity in Lightroom so much that it's become actually quite distracting and like a bit weird. It doesn't look very nice. I think I would probably be thinking about cropping in closer with these cute little girls. I don't think we got much to gain by including so much picture. Otherwise, the stats are perfect, really well done. But like I said, be easy on the clarity. A little too much there. I put this in. This is a bit weird. And then I realized they're like licking a snowflake, but I still think it's a little bit weird, but it's nicely cropped in and it's well focused, so well done. Okay. And this I thought was, this has to be illegal. There's no way that a little girl like this could be getting married. I'm just joking. Obviously this is fancy dress. It's cute. I always had a thought to take like a couple of my kids, Joe. I always thought to take a couple of our kids and dress them up as like a bride and groom and do some like really like fancy, you know, like backlit pictures and stuff. I never got around to it, but this is like one of those pictures that is quite cute. Yocheved says it's adorable. Absolutely. It's it's overexposed over here. It needs really quite a lot of work, and the very, very heavy vignette is not very good. Very important, Mindy. Vignetting should be very, very subtle. If you just walk away with one thing from this hour, is vignetting should be very subtle. Okay, that's a very lovely picture. Stats are very nice, and it's a lovely pastel background. But please remember, when you've got a feature in the background, put your subject over here. Don't just have him overlapped by the feature. Now, what's happening is our eye is getting distracted by the feature, this pagoda in the background. Whereas if you put him over here, we would see the kid, and then we'd see the pagoda, and then we'd see, as opposed to our eye getting distracted backwards and forwards. Otherwise, it's beautiful, gorgeous looking kid. The light is gorgeous as well. Just the composition is a little bit haphazard. Okay, this is nice. The stats are absolutely perfect. Light on her face is not very good, and you've just missed the focus. We've got a lot of chromatic aberration here. Okay, anyone know does anyone know how it is that chromatic aberration happens, or anyone know what is chromatic aberration? I have a friend of mine called Rafi Cohen, who's a quantum physicist, and he does all kinds of stuff with he just got his PhD actually a couple of weeks ago. He does all kinds of stuff with like lenses and things. And he once explained to me what chromatic aberration actually is. And I had absolutely no idea what he's talking about whatsoever. But just to tell everybody simply, it is when you have a wide aperture and a strong contrast between a black and a white, for example, and the line where there is a strong contrast, for some physics reason, creates this blue fringe. What do you do about it? I will show you. It is super easy. In fact, it's even like kind of worth it happening just for how easy it is to fix. One second, I'm just going to bring in all these pictures. Oh,
I've never noticed that before. How interesting.
Aberration. It's something that I only like photography about. Yeah, you know, it's going to take a little while, so we'll go back to this one in a minute. But the light here is a little bit missed, and I think I'd probably crop a little bit off the bottom as well. Okay, here we've got, this is a good example of where the features of his face have really blended. It looks like you've edited this, but it's really the image is lacking contrast. Although the composition is beautiful and a lovely look, the image is lacking a lot of contrast. Okay. You've missed the focus here. The sunset's gorgeous, but unfortunately there's no focus. So a picture without a focus is like a pencil without lead. Pointless. You get it? No? Jay, you didn't even hear that, did you? She loves it. I still find that really funny. Jay, are you laughing? Are you making fun of me? Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's a funny one.
No, pencil without lead. Pointless. Anyway, so it was nice. Unfortunately, though, we need to know that focus is 3 words. The foundation, sorry, I'm lying, the technical foundation of the image, okay? It's also distance, but we'll learn about that another time. This is nice and sharp, good light. I would like to have eye contact. It's important generally to have some looking at camera and some looking off camera is not such a good idea. Okay, we generally want either everyone looking into the camera or everyone looking off camera, or one person looking into the camera and the other 2 looking at them, whatever. Otherwise, nicely cropped in. So well done. So that's okay. Okay. Miriam, this is, again, this to me is a little bit haphazard, the composition. The technical side of this picture is wonderful. You've done really well. But compositionally, it's just a little bit random. Like we've got this line in the background here, these lines over here, and then we've got the baby plonked in the middle with energy moving in that direction. As it is, it's probably cropped quite well for the picture, but I would be thinking about completely changing my camera angle to try and make that a little bit more sense of that. Okay. Hi, Tova. So pictures of newborns, without exception, need skin softening. There is no such thing as a picture of a newborn without skin softening. Very important. Also, this shadow here is very distracting. And overall, we are actually in the process of releasing our newborn course. And that's going to be very exciting. It's actually going to have an element with Talia Cantor, who's our newborn photographer. Well, she's not really our newborn photographer, but she's the top newborn photographer here in Israel. And she's actually going to be doing critiquing in that course when we release that in the next few weeks. But otherwise, yeah, no, we just need a little bit more interest to come in here, or just show her face a little bit more, make the textures a little bit more interesting. Let's go to Lightroom a second to see that picture. What was that picture that I wanted to look at with the chromatic aberration? It was like a little girl.
That photo with the head of the little girl looks really scary.
1 second. Where's that picture? Where is that picture? Oh, here it is. Okay, so just to show you how super duper easy it is to get rid of chromatic aberration. This is the chromatic aberration, and all we do is we go to lens correction, and here it is, defringe. Just, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. What did they say? Hocus pocus, not hocus pocus, abracadabra, and you just go like that, and it's gone. Okay, so that really is the key to getting rid of chromatic aberration. You cannot really do anything about that in camera. Okay. Okay, this is a teeny weeny picture, Zelda. I don't know why you did it so much, but it's just not, there's nothing really to keep my attention. Although the pose is quite cute. It'd be nice to see that as a bigger picture. Okay. This is well done, Shira. This is well done. I like the fact that you focused on her face as opposed to whatever she's holding, which a lot of people generally do. Definitely a face is more interesting than when someone's holding something. However, the fact that she's holding this creates, in a sense, a kind of a frame, which at least gives us a depth to the picture. And as we know, depth in a picture is always makes a big difference. Okay, and this is Devorah Malka. Devorah, absolutely well done. Fantastic as always. Just to be super critical. Go on, Joe. Who's the problem in this picture? Who's not perfect?
The girl on the end.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a little bit turned in.
She's too far away. She's a bit detached from the photo.
Who, this girl?
Yeah, everyone else is really close and compact.
She's too forward. The issue is she's a little bit too much turned in. Yeah, and she could come a little bit further back to Dad, but otherwise really, really well done. Really beautiful, sophisticated posing, lovely frame as well. Decent background. It looks like you're in the middle of like a nowhere place, and you've really squeezed out a great shot. So well done, Devorah, as always. Okay, this is great, Aviva. Just we need with this one we're going to take into Lightroom. I'm going to show you. This needs to be. This one needs.
Does it matter that half her bow is out of the picture? Or it doesn't matter.
Half what?
Her bow is out of the picture, or it doesn't matter.
We'll see. 1 second. Let me see. Where was that picture? I don't think it mattered, but let's just see. Where is that picture? I think, why is it not there? It didn't come. There's some issue. I think that was the. No. Not quite sure what happened with that. Anyway, without spending too much time, the bow being cut off is not such a big deal. There's also been a nice vignette. What really is the issue is just we need a lot more contrast. Her face should be much brighter. Her eyes should be much brighter. Really needs to have a little bit more like TLC put into it in Lightroom. Yeah, that's basically it. We need more of a subject. Basically, okay. This is okay. It's nicely posed. It's not so good technically. I can't see the stats here. It looks like your aperture is a bit wide. Pardon me. What could help a little bit here is if this girl put her hand over here and this boy put his hand over here, but otherwise nicely composed. Okay. this is, again, this is more like a snap. This is flash straight on, something that we're really trying to avoid. And this hand being cut off there is a little bit distracting also, okay? This is gorgeous. But again, this is gorgeous in regard. The truth is, actually, I think you're using flash. Oh, this is Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Are you using flash? I think you're using off-camera flash, actually. I think compositionally, I might crop in personally. I know that we'd be losing the context a little bit. But the face, everyone remembers the rule of the face is the eye line needs to be above center because a face is with energy moving down. Yeah, so we always need a little bit more space at the bottom. Okay, but otherwise, well done. That's nice. Leah, well done. This is beautiful. Okay, I personally probably leave a little bit less room over here just to balance it off perfectly. As we've got obviously a lot of energy moving in this direction, we could do with a little bit less here. One thing that does add a lot to this picture are these gorgeous flowers. We've got something for the little girl to be doing. Generally, I try and avoid profile pictures of kids, but this works fine. Her profile's developed enough. And this energy moving in from this gate also adds something. Nothing distracting in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 second. I'm going to just send out a poll. Please tell me stats, good, bad, or perfect. 400 ISO at 1.8 at 250th of a second. Good, bad, or perfect. Have 100% perfect so far, but I think only one person did that. Okay, good, bad. Okay, perfect is 70%, good is 25%, bad is 3%. Good, that's you're right. Definitely not bad, that's for sure. Definitely not bad. Anybody who clicked bad needs to come to the masterclass. Oh, by the way, okay, we'll end poll here. 1 second, that's good. So everybody, I agree with you. 65. Oh, you didn't see it. I didn't click for you to see it. 65% said perfect. 6% said bad and 30% said good. I think it's absolutely perfect. 250th of a second is not like the best shutter speed, but to push more than 400 ISO, I think that makes sense. Okay, I'm just going to post one of our offers now. We are doing 50% off as usual. We're doing a 50% off for 24 hours. So you can click here and as they say in Yiddish, chaperein. How do you say that, Joe, in English? There's no way of saying.
What did you say?
Chaperein. Anybody got a translation to the Yiddish chaperein? What, Joe?
Yeah, whilst you can, don't miss out.
Make the most of. Yeah, but it doesn't sound as like, it's something about Yiddish, you know? Like the word for smile in Yiddish is, Joe, you know what a smile in Yiddish is?
No.
A schmeichel. How can you say that word and not smile? Give me a schmeichel. Anyway, okay, so beautiful. Here this isn't a schmeichel. There you go. Everyone, grab the moment, grab the opportunity. Thank you. That's good. Stats here. We're not so sharp. We missed the focus slightly, a little bit dark, and the Lightroom is a little bit obvious, but definitely could be brightened up a little bit. That's a beautiful picture, Avi. I've seen this picture before, but this is a really intelligent picture. We've got this strong circle over here with the opposite, these strong triangular lines, which is the opposite experience of a circle. Circles are relaxed. Triangles are dynamic. Then we've got this strong triangular pose from the little kid with a great expression, energy moving this way with a little bit more room over here. We've got a huge separation between subject and background. That is as we say over here, a stonker. That is excellent. Excellent. Okay. A little bit, let's see if we can take this one into Lightroom because it's a little bit what's the word, low contrast. Let's see where it is it here? Oh, something's funny is happening with my Lightroom. and not all the pictures are coming through. Okay, we're going to keep going. I'm not going to waste time. But yeah, it's a little low contrast. We need a little bit more detail on her dress. But you've used the tree nicely, and the stats are excellent. So well done. Okay, this is very much like a snap. Sorry, I don't know why you've left so much space over here. But it's this. You can see clearly that your camera is not, that 3200 ISO is not acceptable. Not acceptable. Okay, that's a great shot. Well done, Rachel. Joe, you like that?
Yeah, it's cute. Very cute.
Cute. I might want to go with black and white here. In fact, I think I would. I feel that the color palette here it's such a powerful image with such a powerful pose and expression with a powerful edit, that I think the color palette doesn't really do it justice for the power. So I really prefer that as a black and white, even done in Picasa. So, but otherwise, stats. What do we think of the stats, ladies and gentlemen? Stats. Let's ask again. 1 second, and we'll publish the results this time. Stats for this picture are 800 ISO, 500th of a second at 1.8. Good, bad, or perfect. What do we think? Good, perfect. Takes a second for it to kick in. We have 50% perfect, 50% good. Okay, fluctuating. Good is 60, 70%. No one's done bad. Thank you very much. So we've got more good than bad. Okay, 60-40 to good. Let's end the poll here. Okay, can everyone see that? Joe, can you see that? Do people see that?
Yeah.
Don't know. With a T7i, 800 ISO, I suppose people are saying, well, why are you at 800 ISO? Because you could be at 400 ISO at 250th of a second, yeah? Because remember the Rebel series, you can't change the ISO in third stops. I think these stats are perfect, to be honest, because I think that this camera at 800 ISO is fine, and I think to be at 500th of a second is great. So I think they're perfect personally, but I think the people who said good, I understand where you're coming from, and I'm not right, that's just my opinion. Okay, good. It just needs to be exposed more exposure, but a cute picture. Good energy in this direction, so that works well. Okay, this is lovely. Yocheved, excellent. That's fantastic. One thing that I would do immediately is get rid of that. You know what? Maybe I'll show you how to do that very, very quickly in Photoshop. I'm sure people know how to do this, but I'm just going to show you quickly how to get rid of that area there. Joe, do you notice the distraction of that area there? How much nicer the picture would be if that was filled in with green as well? Maybe now.
I didn't notice it until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned, yeah.
So look, let's 1 second. Oh, where is it? Where did it go? 1 second. And this is now Photoshop, not Lightroom. So this is super easy to do. All I would use is, there's a load of ways of doing it, but I would use my, this is called the clone tool. And I'm just going to press Alt here, and you just basically done. 2 seconds, and just while you're here, might as well get rid of that junk as well. Okay. And that is it. And you can, what's nice about using Photoshop and Picasa together is that when you save it in Photoshop, 1 second, it automatically updates it in Picasa. Okay, but lovely energy. Yocheved, you've done really well with where you've placed them, because we've got perfect energy moving in that direction. That's really a gorgeous, gorgeous picture. And I'm just going to ask everybody one more time, stats, good, bad, or perfect. We have a 1/640th of a second at f2 at 100 ISO. Good, bad, or perfect. What's everyone thinking? So far, 100% perfect. No one says good or bad. We got 50-50 now, good and bad. 60-40 perfect. 60-40 perfect. 70-30 perfect. 70-30 perfect. 4% bad. Not, I wouldn't say bad, definitely. End poll. So I would say that these stats are nearly perfect, but I would definitely be at least 200 ISO, although you've done fine. So for all intents and purposes, they really are perfect. But to freeze motion, you really want to be getting to at least 1,000th of a second. So I would suggest being a 200 ISO and then doubling your shutter speed. Okay, this is nice. A little bit awkward composition. Like we said, the eye line needs to be above center. Otherwise, we're kind of crashing into the bottom of the frame. Okay, very nice, light and airy picture. Stats, I'm assuming you've got the 2.8 lens, and the stats I think are perfect. Well done, nice focus. I think that's a lovely airy picture, beautiful, well done. Okay, again, Hadassah, this is great, lovely, strong composition. It's a little bit random expression-wise. Don't really know what I'm looking at, to be honest. It would be nice if he was looking into the camera. That would make a world of difference. But otherwise, well done. Nice separation between background and subject. Okay, this one, I want to do this one in Lightroom. Let's take this one into Lightroom quickly. I saw this one before. Where is it? Joe, you saw it?
No.
Saw it 100%.
Just to let you know, we're 35 minutes in case you wanted to move on to the next part.
Okay, so I'm going to do. Oh yeah. So first thing I want to do is this light on their face is not good. Okay, so I'm going to just raise up my shadows. That should do quite a lot of the heavy work. Okay, I'm going to lift up my my temperature. Maybe even 10 points. Yeah, that's looking good. We're nearly there already. I'm going to just add a teeny little bit of clarity just to get a little bit more oomph. And I'm going to put a teeny little vignette in. And just to show you the difference that such a teeny quick edit makes. Look at that. That took about 30 seconds. Okay. And we can see the difference. The problem was that it was too cool and the shadows were too dark. And a quick facelift like that makes all the difference. Okay, so we're basically out of time here. You know, the truth is, I can do my presentation quickish. So let's spend another few minutes. That is fantastic, Esty. That is absolutely fabulous, fabulous. Stats are perfect, absolutely perfect. Beautiful energy, a really inspired image with the lights gorgeous. We've got a lovely interaction there. We've got a perfect balance, nothing distracting in the background, beautiful separation between the subject and the background. We've got a lovely interaction there. So we've got all the graphics in place and we've got all the interest and the subject in place. So well done, Esty. That is fantastic. Excellent. Okay, who's this? Hani. Hi, Hani. This picture, I think, doesn't look like this. I think it's my Lightroom is doing something funny. 1 second. And I don't think that was a fair... I'm not sure. I don't think that picture looks... I don't think it's fair because I don't think that picture looks like that. Occasionally, Picasso does funny things. So I'm assuming that the lighting is... the colouring is actually much better than that. But otherwise, the light is okay. It's a little bit messy. Like shadows over here, not so good. Okay, this is lovely. I would crop in a little bit closer there. I don't think we need that extra bit of snow at the bottom. And by cropping in closer, we end up getting rid of the random snow and we make our little girl bigger. So that's, we win in both, we win on both fronts. Well done there. Okay. Joe, see anything distracting in this picture?
The flower to his right.
Yeah. Yeah. This picture would be improved if this flower was gotten rid of and then cropped in a little bit more, just to pay attention to the directions, just something like that.
The background looks great. It looks a bit like they've superimposed the boy on like a painting.
Well, he's using a very wide aperture with the 50mm. Sorry, who is it? I'm not sure it is, but using a very wide aperture. So that's the effect from the aperture. It's completely natural. The light on his face is very good. Everything about this picture is gorgeous. Just a drop distracting. Okay, bit random. Who's this? Bella. I would suggest there's a lot to learn here. I'm not sure if you're enrolled in our school, but I think you would get a lot from enrolling in our school. There's too many things to talk about here, but definitely worth to be improved on. Be good to get a 50mm lens. Okay, Rifki. Okay, it's a very cute moment, just a very random background. And when we've got lines in the background, it's very important to keep them like straight or whack them out completely. So as it is, it's a little bit kind of just disjointed. Okay, I think we're just going to flick through now, see anything that pokes out. Okay, it's cute, bit random background. This one is much nicer. It's coming out funny in Picasso, but this is nice, Bella. Well done. Okay, that's lovely energy, lovely, interesting edit as well. Nice leading lines. That's gorgeous. Wetch fam. That's a beautiful picture. That's beautifully cropped, beautifully balanced. Well done, Ayala. Well done. That's nice. Good stuff. Okay, bit random. Okay, also a little bit random. Big white energy there. Not good. Don't want that. That's beautifully posed, but be perfectly central. Make it perfectly symmetrical. It's not perfectly symmetrical. Crop a little bit off there. Very important. That's a really special picture. It would be really special if it was perfectly centered. Okay, that's more of a snap, Michael. Okay, that's we need. There's a lot to do there. Okay, Shannon, this is good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nice. Very powerful. Okay, too much space at the top of Hoover. Gorgeous. Well done, Nachman. Beautiful, nice edit, really good edit. It could be a little brighter. Okay, that's gorgeous. That's really lovely. I would get up a little bit higher and have this cover the whole frame over here. If you get higher, then if you can understand, this bush would go up higher. As it is, this little bit here is a little bit distracting. The stats are perfect. Really good stuff. Well done, Malkala. Okay, lovely, energized picture. Again, Malkala, excellent, or Yossi, very good. Let's see if we can get to all of them. Okay, that's nice. Nice light, bit random composition. That tree doesn't really do much good there. Okay, needs to be brighter, but otherwise well done, higher. Definitely needs to be brighter, and then otherwise that's really well done. Okay, stats are great as well. Okay, Yocheved, good stuff. Yocheved's on our AMP program. This is lovely. Usually we don't generally like light like that, but in this case, I think it works beautifully. This path it's a little bit overexposed, but I do like the going off into the distance. This is the kind of picture, excuse me, that would be best shot in RAW and bring back a lot of detail on this white path. Okay, needs to be cropped in a little bit closer, but well done for your attention to detail, Perla, and that you're really centered there, so that's well done. Okay, don't focus on the flower, focus on the kid. No one cares about flowers, people care about kids. Okay, Shandy, this is great. This is well done. Nicely posed, lovely energy here. We've got this lovely complex pose. It's a very complex pose, which is great. Energy moving in this direction with her head moving in that direction, so it's perfectly balanced. Well done. Okay, a little bit over the top, Batia, with the blurring of the background. That's become a little bit kind of like disorientating. If that's a word? I think I just made a word up there. Okay, Tammy, that's good. Brighten up a little bit more contrast. Okay, Rochel, that's a bit more of a snap. We need more room over here for it to balance up. Okay, that's nice, but again, remember, if we've got boring, ugly textures in our image, that makes our image a little bit boring and ugly. Although I love this shape here. This is a fantastic shape, but the texture of this area is just so rubbish that it really kind of rubbishes up the picture a little bit. So if you could maybe get down a little bit lower, again, I don't know what's going on over here, but just to have so much of this very bland texture is not a good idea. Not a good idea. Okay, crop a little bit over here, a drop more over here. That would be beautifully balanced, and well done on the edit. And you nailed it with the, you nailed it. The stats are excellent. Very well done. We're going to finish. That's great. That's well done. Yael, good stuff. It's a little bit random though that we've cropped him off over here. We need a stronger vignette that would keep us a little bit more in. That is distracting over there. And finally, Yitta. Okay, excellent. This is great. A little bit too close for comfort here and a little bit too much room over there. Like I said, everyone does that all the time. I don't know why that is, but it's a fact that people crop off too much at the bottom and don't leave enough. Sorry, they crop off too much at the bottom and leave too much space at the top. But remember, very important, Joe, you'll like this rule, that you obviously can't add space to the bottom of the image, yeah? However, when you crop off from the opposite side, it relatively does add some space to the bottom of the image. So, or to the other side. Whew! Okay, that is the first time ever that we got through all the pictures. Well done, Shmuel. Pat on the back. Okay, onward. So, I got commissioned by a magazine to do a, Joe, you're going to love this. This is all pictures of Elisheva. 35 pictures of she is the absolutely cutest, gorgeous little thing in the world. She's also like a super genius as well. So she nothing gets past her, and she's like, she says all these like really deep things the whole time, like but with this like really cute
from my auntie.
Oh yeah, she got it from her auntie. What, the chipmunk voice or the deep insights?
The cuteness, the intelligence.
Okay, so what I've done basically, ladies and gentlemen, is I went with Elisheva to the park. Let me just get my jacket.
Yeah, sure. You might want to tell everyone that she's your child. People ask.
So she's my daughter. She's my third daughter. And she's super duper gorgeous. And I went with her to the park to just basically take a bunch of pictures demonstrating all different kinds of ideas about photography. So we're going to go through now very quickly, but we're going to do a massive recap. Everybody, one second, just get this up here. Is the offer still on? Does everyone still see the offer? Okay, I'm assuming that you do. But anyway, 1 second. Such a high PQ, Dina said. Yes, she does have a high PQ. PQ, just ladies and gentlemen, just to recap, who said that? Dina said PQ is physical intelligence. We've got 4 kinds of intelligence. Joe, you know the 4 kinds of intelligence?
No, I'm looking forward to hearing them.
IQ, okay, that one everyone knows. That's to do with your mental faculties of being able to deal with problems and stuff like that, and how quick you think. Then we've got EQ, which is emotional intelligence, which is to do with your ability to relate to other people, etc. Then we've got SQ, which is called spiritual intelligence, which is like it's really to do with your integrity, like how much integrity you have, how much you stick to your word, and how trustworthy you are and stuff. And then we have PQ, which is physical intelligence, which plays out in 2 ways. Number 1, like the kind of person who like knows they need to eat some sugar, or they know they need to go for a sleep for 20 minutes. They just know their body very well. And number 2 is what we're seeing here, which just means a kind of natural awareness of your body where you compose yourself really well. So when you end up with a subject who can really pose themselves well, that is called somebody with a high PQ. Okay. And you can tell them that. What I just said there is a nice thing. People appreciate hearing that. So you can say to them, you have a really high PQ, and people are like, oh, that's nice. Thank you very much. What's a PQ? And then you can hit them with it all. Okay. So this is by the way, these pictures have not been edited at all. Okay. So this is just straight out of camera to show the ideas. This is looking down. okay, the 3 different viewing angles. Looking down is good to be used sparsely, but when you use it well, it's great. Okay, looking up is basically never to be used. Very, very rare, especially for such a gorgeous little girl like this. Okay, and this is generally what we're looking for, which is a just a below eye level, which means for me to take that picture, I'm kind of getting down on my knees. Okay.
Sometimes you cut her legs off. You was talking before about trying not to cut the legs off.
So that's a really good question. So do you see, Joe, how this picture works?
Yeah, I was talking about the one before this one, actually.
Oh, that one?
No, go.
Oh, this. Oh, we'll look at that in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, can everybody just tell me quickly why this picture works? Why this picture isn't a problem that I'm cutting off her legs? Okay, I know that my students will get this one. You could say it in one word. Can the webinars please be 1.5 hours if anyone's a month? Yes, that is the idea, Hani. We will do them. Skirt, end it. Wait, why monthly? It is good, but they are going to be 1.5 hours, and it means I'm going to be able to really, really create a good thing for you guys. Line is by her coat. Thank you. Line is by her coat. So this line here is what makes this picture work fine. Okay, this line here, which means our eye is basically here. Okay, onward. Now this is just a picture to show you the kind of cropping that most people do. Okay, leaving loads of space here and not enough space at the bottom. This is the regular crop that I get when people first come into the masterclass. This is the kind of picture I see over and over and over again, and I give it them over the head. And the first thing they do is they're like, oh yeah, I hear that. And then they crop in like this. And this will make all the difference. You could even crop in even closer, but look at the difference here. Okay. Look at the difference. That's a beautiful picture, and that is a very amateur picture. Okay, big difference. Okay, we've got energy. We've got energy moving this way. Okay, and we got lots of space allowing for that energy, which is a much better picture than this. Energy moving this way and no space allowing for this picture. So this we have a bang into the edge of the frame. Okay, this is the difference between annoying stuff in the background and no annoying stuff in the background.
That's a great question. Dean has just asked, how old is she? Do you know how old she is?
Go on, everybody, have a guess. How old is... Oh, Dad wrote 87 looks so sweet. Go on, have a guess how old
she is.
What, Joe?
Do you know how old she is?
Me?
Yeah.
Like within a couple of years or so.
I won't ask if you know when her birthday is.
That I don't actually know. 6, 5. No, she's actually just 5. Okay, everyone's in the ballpark. Yeah, she's just 5, but she's super.
Getting on 15.
Going on like 35. She's definitely much more mature than me. Much more. The amount of times I catch her looking at me like going. And I'm 42. I'm by far the most immature person in my house, no question.
Sandy, you're right. I don't think my dad knows my birthday. Dad, if you know my birthday, put it.
You all know your birthday, Joe. There's only 3 of us. Anyway.
No, Daddy never used to know my birthday. I always thought it was the 18th.
Oh, yeah? Okay, well, I know the 19th.
Unless he was just doing it to wind me up. Could be.
Okay, this is again the same idea of a very confusing background next to a very plain background, okay? Very important. Again, this is we talked about this in the class. This is an ugly background, okay? This is ugly. These colors are ugly and these are beautiful. Look at the difference, okay? When we have ugliness, when we have ugly graphics, oh, Dad got it, 19th of August, well done. When we have ugly graphics in our image, we have a slightly ugly image. Okay, this is keeping our subject close to the background, and this is taking our subject further from the background, meaning that the background doesn't vie for our attention. Okay, now this is what I call a one-tone background. Okay, pardon me, meaning that there's just one tone here, surprisingly enough. And then we got some family banter going on the chat there on private. Now this is what's called a two-tone background, where we have one tone here and one tone over here, which is not a bad idea and sometimes can be great. And then we have what's called a three-tone background, where we have three sections of background, which again can have its pros and cons. In this case, it's not very good, but it can have benefits if you've got good colors going on. This is a great example. Look at this. Joe, you see this picture? This is the same place without the sun, and this is with the sun coming through. Look at the difference.
Oh, wow, big difference.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful warmth comes through. Plus, very importantly, is that she pops out from the background, okay? Now, this is another nice example. Ladies and gentlemen, can anybody please tell me, what are the 2 rules of background? The 2 rules of background that we learn in the masterclass. Number 1, and then number 2. I just have to wait for a moment for everyone to get it because there's a 15-second lag.
Well, whilst they're writing their answers, we had a question. Yeah. What's wrong with taking a picture from the looking up perspective?
So with a kid, it's very oh, 1 second. I will get to the picture. Yeah. If we've got anyone coming in. Contrast color, far from background. Thank you, Rachel. Comparable exposure. Very good. Away from background, that's also true. You're right, but I meant like I wasn't clear enough. Contrast, yes, but the two rules: uncluttered, yes, but we say it so clearly. Okay, comparable exposure, and if possible, different color. Look at the difference. When you've got a different color, this is the same color, even though it's a comparable exposure, and it's to do with contrast, different color. Thank you, Hani. I mean, I just said that anyway. But that makes all the difference, okay? Comparable exposure, different color. The problem with shooting upwards, really for little girls and women, for men, it can have a benefit. It gives you a much heavier presence. So for women, we're generally trying to make their presence more feminine, more how'd you say that in English? More adin, like more like not subtle, sensitive. How do we say adin in English? More like subtle, not subtle, sophisticated, pleasing, gentle. Maybe, yeah, gentle's a good one. Thank you, Rivka. Gentle, fine, either way. So generally shooting up gives a much more kind of powerful masculine feel, and that's something that we're trying to avoid. Okay, now this is a good example of when we're trying to show a picture, trying to show a story. So we've got something in the background that makes sense. We spoke about this before. So we've got our subject over here, and then the thing in the background over there. Remember the pagoda example? And what happens when we get them crossed over? We end up losing both of them, basically. Okay, so it makes a big difference to make sure that if you are having some kind of feature in the background, that it is not overlapping your subject. Okay, this is a good example of backgrounds. This is an overexposed background. This is refined, fine, thank you. Yeah, delicate, that's the word. Thank you, Chaya. Delicate pose. So this is with a correctly exposed background, a comparable exposed background, and that is an overexposed background. Okay, this is soft light. Okay, we can see that the light on her face is soft, meaning that the shadows are very, the gradient of the shadows means that we've got a movement of shadow that goes over that way, whereas hard light is this is hard light, and that means that our shadow just comes like that, okay? One single line, and generally we are trying to avoid hard light. Is there a time and a place for hard light? Yes, but generally for family portraiture, nearly always we are trying to avoid it, okay? This is another example of hard light. This is another example of soft light. Again, we can see the shadows, the gradation of the shadow is very subtle. And this is an example of hard light. Very cute. But it's a hard light, but it's not such a big difference between the highlight and the shadow. So we do have this hard line over here and over here and over here and over here, which means it's a hard shadow, it's a hard light. But because it's not such a dark shadow, it means it's acceptable, but it's still it's still not the kind of light that we're looking for. Yeah, you're right. Her hand is cut off. Yeah, not a good. That isn't good. You're right. I agree with you. Like I said, these pictures haven't been edited. Okay, this is the kind of light that we call a disaster. That again is what our students who join the masterclass, we see these kinds of pictures all the time, and this is the first thing, or probably the second thing after that cropping issue, which we talk about. But these two examples are, this image is, can anyone tell me what the difference between these two images are? You can see the exposure is different, but what have I done here? What's the difference? Can anyone articulate that? The difference between this picture and this picture. The difference is, no one's come to that. People don't, Rembrandt, like too much shadow. So I'll just explain to you quickly, is that in this picture, we've got the same light formation. We've got this horrible, strong light, and then we've got the shadow area. In this picture, we've exposed for the shadow area. So in this picture, we've got a mid-tone and a highlight. In this picture, we've got a highlight, a mid-tone and a shadow. Okay, it's giving you over the two options. One light is intelligent, one not. They're both unintelligent, in my opinion. Okay, and now this is a great example of dappled, horrible light, something we're trying to avoid. And I like this example. This final example is, this is a picture without a frame, and this is a picture with a frame. Look at the difference. Does everyone see the depth that this picture has over this picture? So a very, very important part of portrait photography is trying our hardest to find natural frames. Okay, any questions? Joe, you got any questions?
No, you've answered them as I've gone along.
Okay, so we've got our Q&A now.
Yeah, we probably only got a few minutes for questions. It's already just gone 8.
Yeah, so let's do 1 second. Okay, so we're going to go quickly, and please, everybody, again, just as I know we do this every week, and you're probably all bored of it, but anybody who isn't enrolled in our masterclass, can people who are enrolled in our masterclass, who were enrolled in the masterclass, please tell them how amazing the course is. And I'm not just like a big bluffer, that the course really works, and people can like basically be assured that within a few weeks they're going to be taking gorgeous pictures, and that they should buy it right now. Can everybody just give that big heads up like we always ask for, please? No one's getting paid for this. No one is being coerced. I'm just the results are just over and over so special. So please, if you did come here as a guest and you don't know anything about our masterclass, we really recommend that jump in. There's 110% guarantee. It's only $500. You get over 2 hours of personal critiquing from me, and there's a whole support network as well. And it's just a really, really good thing. I'm not going to harp on about it over and over, but we're offering 110% guarantee. That's how absolutely confident in this course we are. Thank God. And like I said, the results are just over and over, just transformations over and over. So if you want to become a fantastic photographer, and the benefits of being a great photographer are awesome, please jump in and buy the course. And also, your money goes to a really good place, because I don't spend anything on myself ever. It all goes on my kids and my family. So you can know about that. Anyway, okay, what is the best lens that can give you a professional photo when you're on a budget? The 50mm 1.8, $125 is a no-brainer, okay? Canon 50mm 1.8. Okay, what is the process when taking pics of a family? What are your go-to pics? This is a great question, very, very intelligent question. What are your go-to pics that you are sure to take? Full families, parents, girls, boys, etc. I find out taking so many different groupings, such as all the girls together, boys together, pairs too, etc. Feels a bit excessive. Standard pose. Okay, so this is the way I do a portrait shoot. This is quite important to hear. Okay, number one, I do all the kids individually. Okay, and I generally start from the youngest because they use their concentration, but that's not for sure. But I do all the kids individually. If it's a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah, I will leave the bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah boy to the end, and then take extra pictures of them. Okay, then after all the individual pictures, then I take a picture of mum and dad together. Then I take a picture of the whole family and then just the kids. Okay, once I've got those pictures, which means individuals, mum and dad, full family, just the kids, now it's time to have fun. Okay, before I've got those 4 pictures, or those 4, whether it's more than 4 pictures, but before I've got those pictures, yeah, I'm kind of tensing my shoulders and I feel that they haven't got their money's worth until I've covered all of those bases. And then after that, you can do the girls and the boys, and then you can do dad with the boys and the girls, and etc. And then, but the more important in the different groupings is fun. Go for walks, have them run around, have them in all funky poses and stuff like that, but make sure that you get those first 4 things. Okay, individual kids, mum and dad, family, kids together. Okay, can we discuss the best way to send out pictures to clients? What size should they be? Should I email, use Google Photos? We use SmugMug. We have a course on that called client website building or something. I can't remember. It's there. You can look at that. We go into that in detail in the AMP. It's very important. It's not something that should be taken lightly, but we do use SmugMug. Okay. Can I just edit in Windows Picasa program and skip Adobe? No, you can't. Okay. If I have a niche for it, but the field, I think you mean a knack for it, but the field is absolutely flooded, should I go ahead with photography? So Joe, can you think of any vocation right now that isn't absolutely flooded?
It's a good question.
Everything's flooded.
Yeah.
But if you excel and you provide a fantastic product and a fantastic service, you will be able to make a living. I really believe that with all my heart, because there's so many people who aren't there with their whole heart, and people really appreciate when you're there for your clients. So I don't feel that that's in any way an issue. I really don't. It's so easy to just give everything you've got and to kind of come above the everyone else's heads, in my opinion. How to quench your thirst for photography when you are time limited, tied down to another job, family? Don't know. Don't really what. I mean, it's difficult. It's really difficult to find time to do stuff like that. I suppose it's the same question for everything. How do I find time? I suppose the key is good planning, as Covey says. If there's anyone looked at the big, Joe, you ever saw that the YouTube video of big stones, little stones?
Yeah.
Where they put in, if you put in all the little stones first, then there's no room for the big stones. But if you put in first the big stones and then the little stones and then you get the sand, everything fits in. So get the big things in first and plan good, and you should be okay. Is there a big difference between different, I think you mean flash companies, which is better, Alien B, Paul Buff, Newer, Godox? In my opinion, flash equipment you can spend much less energy or much less money on than photography equipment. Flash equipment is much more simple. In my opinion, to buy very fancy flash equipment is a waste of money. I go with very simple flash equipment. I use Alien B by Paul Buff. My on-camera flash is Canon. Newer is a little bit janky, to be honest. Godox is great. Alien B is great, but I wouldn't bust my head on it. Newer is a bit junky. For standard photo outdoors, what settings do you recommend that I use from the dial? I recommend that you come to the masterclass. That's much too big a question to answer.
Sure. Someone's asked, what's the difference between the JSP and the Now masterclass?
The JSP, I mean, the JSP is the JS. What, Joe?
That's the your old Jerusalem School of Photography, yeah?
Yeah, it really morphed into the masterclass. It was originally Jerusalem School of Photography, then we changed it to the Small Diamond School of Photography, and then it turned to the Zero to Pro masterclass. It's much, much more put together. It's been refined and refined and refined. It was good as the JSP. It was good, and I did it with my friend Yemi Van, and then we went our separate ways, and I moved it further. I put a lot of energy into it, and it kind of, like I said, it kind of morphed into the very finished and polished masterclass. I can have a studio with 2 flash lighting, but not always happy with the outcomes. Is there any reason why not to go with a 4 flash setup if I have the room for it? I mean, usually the more I can't answer that question. It depends on the color of the background. It depends on your what's the word, your familiarity and your mastery with Flash. Generally, adding more flashes makes it more difficult and not as good. But if you are masterful, then you can get away. The more flashes, the better, because you don't have to use them, obviously. In addition, is there any way you suggest it's best to deliver images to my clients that don't have internet access? USB keys. Am I better off branding myself and investing in USBs or CDs that I can gear to all crowds? I personally would go with SmugMug. Getting involved in USBs and CDs is, in my opinion, a logistical nightmare.
Also, a lot of laptops don't have space anymore now for CDs.
Oh, for CDs for sure. That's 100%. Definitely not CDs. But I would get involved in SmugMug.
Yeah, put everything on the cloud.
Even people who don't have internet and stuff, and I know in the Jewish world that does exist, it is not a big deal for people to just realize that they have to get somewhere for 5 minutes to download the pictures. There's what I call my supplier card. This is a good idea that I mentioned to people. A supplier card means that, you know, when you go to the post office and they say, you know, you can't do this, you have to like go there. And you're like, but what are you talking about? It's 2021. What? And I'm just sorry, that's it. And you know that you just shut up and you do it because there's no one to argue about. That's called the supplier's card. And you shouldn't pull that card a lot, but you should know that you can pull that card. For example, in this case, when you say, I'm sorry, this is how we deliver the images, and we don't have any other options unless you come to my office with a key, whatever, people will understand that, and you can know that you can throw your weight around in that sense. Okay, finally, I have a Canon 85mm 1.8 and the Canon 24-105. When should I use the 85mm and the 24-105? The 85mm is great for portraits, and the 24-105 is great for action and events. Okay, just going to delete these for next time. So like I said, good stuff.
Very good, Shmuel. Thank you so much. That was really a great class.
And not to forget Yecheved, who's hiding there in the background one. So let's just stop sharing the screen. Thank you, Rivka. Sorry, not Yecheved. Yecheved was also hiding in the background, but Rivka hiding in the background, answering all those questions. And thank you, everybody, always for joining us. I really enjoy it. Like I said to Joe, though, I think my favorite part of this webinar is getting to spend an hour with my little sister. So nice one, Joe. And like I said, we'll keep you posted. The next webinar is, when did we say?
Just after Pesach.
I'm just going to tell everybody.
Of April. Sunday, the 11th of April.
Oh yeah, Sunday, 11th of April. Okay, and also we're going to send out the replay to this one tomorrow, first thing. And like I said, please, if you're not signed up for the masterclass, I can't, you know, I give you my word, you will love it. You will see amazing transformations. And thank you, everybody, for being so fantastic. Okay, peace out. Thanks. And a happy Pesach as well.
Bye.
Bye.